Welcome to our channel's Sunday Showcase. Today, we gather to honor the legendary wrestlers we've lost in recent and past few years. Their profound contributions to the world of wrestling continue to resonate with fans and inspire the next generation. In this video, we'll also share some somber news about Julia, which has touched many hearts. Join us as we celebrate their remarkable legacies through heartfelt tributes and cherished memories. Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us to keep their inspiring stories alive. David von Erich, born on July 22, 1958 in Dallas, Texas, was a rising star in professional wrestling and a key member of the legendary Von Erich family. Known for his natural charisma and impressive in-ring skills, David quickly became a fan favorite during the early 1980s, especially in the world-class championship wrestling WCCW promotion. His combination of athleticism and passion for wrestling helped him connect deeply with audiences and establish himself as one of the brightest talents of his generation. David was involved in some of the most memorable feuds of the era, including intense rivalries with wrestling icons such as Ric Flair and the fabulous Freebirds. He was especially known for his use of the Iron Claw, a signature submission hold that became synonymous with the Von Erich name. His wrestling style blended technical expertise with emotional storytelling, allowing him to stand out in a highly competitive field. Tragically, David von Erich's promising career was cut short when he died at the age of 25. His was ruled a drug overdose, sending shockwaves through his family and the wrestling world. His passing marked the beginning of a series of heartbreaking losses for the Von Erich family, who are remembered both for their tremendous wrestling achievements and the personal tragedies that touched their lives. Though his time in the spotlight was brief, David's impact on professional wrestling remains significant. Fans remember him not only for his talent and dedication, but also for the immense potential that was never fully realized. His contributions to wrestling, along with the enduring legacy of the Von Erich family, continue to influence and inspire the sport to this day. David von Erich's story is one of both remarkable promise and poignant loss, firmly etched in wrestling history. Blackjack Mulligan, born Robert John Heck on November 25, 1942, was a towering force in professional wrestling during the 1970s and 1980s. Standing an impressive 6 feet 9 inches and weighing over 300 pounds, his immense size and commanding presence made him a formidable competitor inside the ring. Mulligan's wrestling career began in the 1960s, and he quickly gained recognition for his rugged, tough guy persona. Known for his no-nonsense attitude, he became a fan favorite and a respected adversary. One of his signature moves was the sleeper hold, which he used skillfully to wear down opponents and secure victories. Throughout his career, Mulligan was involved in several prominent tag teams, including partnerships with legendary wrestlers such as Ernie Ladd and Greg Valentine. Notably, he also teamed with his son, Barry Windham, continuing his wrestling legacy through family ties. Throughout his career, Blackjack Mulligan collected an impressive list of championships. He won the NWA United States Tag Team Championship multiple times, and also captured the WWF World Tag Team Championship, cementing his status as a top-tier competitor in the wrestling world. Beyond his in-ring achievements, Mulligan contributed greatly to the wrestling industry as a promoter and trainer. He played a key role in nurturing new talent, helping to shape the careers of many wrestlers who would go on to find their own success. In recognition of his impact and legacy, Blackjack Mulligan was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2017, a testament to his lasting influence on professional wrestling. He, at the age of 73, leaving behind a legacy defined by strength, dedication, and respect from fans and peers alike. Mulligan remains remembered as one of the greats of wrestling history. Adnan Al-Kaissie, born on March 1, 1939, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling whose impact stretched far beyond the ring. Originally from Iraq, Al-Kaissie relocated to the United States, where he built a remarkable career, not only as a wrestler, but also as a promoter and manager. His journey began in the 1960s when he debuted as a wrestler, quickly standing out due to his impressive physique, striking presence, and magnetic charisma. Throughout his extensive career, Al-Kaissie competed in numerous wrestling promotions worldwide, most notably the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. In the WWF, he became widely recognized for his vibrant personality and memorable characters. One of his most influential roles was managing the legendary Iron Sheik during the 1980s, a partnership that helped elevate the Sheik to stardom. Al-Kaissie's ability to connect with audiences and craft compelling storylines played a significant role in boosting the popularity of his protégés. Beyond his in-ring accomplishments and managerial success, Al-Kaissie was passionate about growing wrestling in the Middle East. He dedicated considerable effort to promoting the sport in his native region, nurturing new talent, and helping establish a foundation for wrestling there. His work behind the scenes as a promoter showcased his deep commitment to the wrestling business and its future. Adnan Al-Kaissie, leaving behind a rich legacy that continues to inspire wrestlers and fans alike. His contributions to professional wrestling, both as a performer and a mentor, cemented his place as a cherished and respected figure in the history of the sport. His larger-than-life personality and dedication to wrestling remain fondly remembered across the wrestling community worldwide. Ursula Hayden, born March 8, 1966, was a remarkable American professional wrestler, actress, and producer whose influence left a lasting mark on the wrestling world. She leaving behind a legacy celebrated by fans and peers alike. Hayden rose to prominence during the late 1980s and 1990s, a time when women's wrestling was gaining momentum, but still fighting for broader recognition. Wrestling under the ring name Ursula, she became known for her dynamic in-ring style that blended powerful moves with impressive high-flying techniques. This versatility helped her stand out in a competitive era, earning her respect and a loyal fan base. Throughout her career, she competed in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and several independent circuits, where she was involved in intense rivalries and memorable matches that showcased her charisma and athleticism. Beyond the wrestling ring, Ursula expanded her career into acting, appearing in films and television projects that highlighted her versatility as a performer. She also took on roles behind the scenes as a producer of wrestling events, actively working to elevate women's presence in the sport. Her efforts helped pave the way for future generations of female wrestlers, as she was a vocal advocate for greater representation and equality in the industry. Despite the challenges she faced, including injuries and personal obstacles, Hayden remained deeply committed to the wrestling community. She was known not only for her toughness and skill in the ring, but also for her kindness and support toward fellow wrestlers and fans. Ursula Hayden's passing brought an outpouring of love and respect from the wrestling world. Her pioneering spirit and dedication continue to inspire aspiring wrestlers, securing her place as a beloved and influential figure in wrestling history. Rusty Brooks, born on August 22, 1957, was a respected American professional wrestler known for his charismatic presence and technical prowess in the ring. Rising to prominence in the 1980s and 1990s, Brooks competed in several major wrestling promotions such as the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and the American Wrestling Association, AWA. Brooks crafted a memorable wrestling persona, often portraying a villainous character that captured the audience's attention. His in-ring style combined solid athletic ability with a deep understanding of wrestling psychology, making his matches both exciting and meaningful. Throughout his career, he squared off against legendary wrestlers like Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler, earning respect for his toughness and skill. Beyond his time as a performer, Rusty Brooks made a significant impact as a trainer and mentor. He helped nurture and develop many aspiring wrestlers, passing on his knowledge and passion for the sport. His work was especially influential in the independent wrestling scene, where he helped shape the future of professional wrestling. Despite the challenges that come with a wrestling career, Brooks's dedication never wavered. His lifelong commitment to the wrestling community earned him lasting respect from peers and fans alike. Rusty Brooks's journey exemplifies the passion and perseverance needed to succeed in the physically and mentally demanding world of professional wrestling. He remains fondly remembered by wrestling enthusiasts as a talented performer and a devoted contributor to the sport's legacy. Ernie Roth, famously known as the Grand Wizard, was born on August 30th, 1926, and became one of the most iconic wrestling managers of the 1970s and early 1980s. With his flamboyant style, sequined jackets, turbans, and oversized sunglasses, he was impossible to miss and quickly became a standout personality in the wrestling world. Playing the role of a villainous manager, or heel, Roth was a master at drawing heat from the crowd, using his sharp wit and theatrical presence to elevate the wrestlers he managed. Before stepping into wrestling, Roth worked as a disc jockey, but it was in the 1960s that his wrestling career truly took off. Starting out in Detroit under the name Abdullah Farouk, he later joined the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, and reinvented himself as the Grand Wizard. There, he managed several top stars, including superstar Billy Graham, Pat Patterson, and Don Muraco. His guidance helped these wrestlers achieve major title victories and cement their place in wrestling history. Roth's influence extended beyond just managing matches. He played a key role in developing wrestler personas and storylines that kept audiences hooked. His savvy understanding of wrestling's theatrical side made him a pioneer in wrestling management, and he was recognized with 6 Manager of the Year awards by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Ernie Roth, at the relatively young age of 57, but his legacy as a charismatic and influential figure lives on. Wrestling fans and historians alike remember the Grand Wizard as a key figure in the golden age of professional wrestling, whose larger-than-life personality helped shape the industry's colorful, character-driven era. Scott Hall, born October 20th, 1958, in St. Petersburg, Florida, was a transformative figure in professional wrestling, remembered for his charisma, unique style, and lasting impact on the industry. Rising to fame in the WWF as Razor Ramon, Hall became a fan favorite with his tough guy persona, slick wrestling technique, and memorable Cuban-Italian accent. He captured multiple Intercontinental Championships, solidifying his place as one of the company's top stars in the early 1990s. However, Hall's most significant influence came with his move to WCW, where he teamed with Kevin Nash to create the groundbreaking New World Order, NWO, stable in 1996. The NWO revolutionized wrestling storytelling and presentation, igniting the legendary Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWF. Hall's magnetic presence and compelling promos helped the NWO become one of wrestling's most iconic factions, forever changing the landscape of professional wrestling and pushing the industry to new heights. Off-screen, Hall faced numerous personal struggles, including battles with addiction and health issues. But his journey toward redemption later in life inspired many fans and peers alike. Tragically, Scott Hall, due to complications from multiple heart attacks following hip surgery. His deeply saddened the wrestling community, including his son Cody Hall, who carries on his father's legacy. Scott Hall's enduring legacy lies not only in his in-ring achievements and groundbreaking role with the NWO, but also in his resilience and the mark he left on professional wrestling's modern era. His influence is still felt today, and he remains a beloved and respected figure among wrestling fans worldwide. Tim Arson, born December 27, 1976, was an American professional wrestler who made a lasting impact on the wrestling scenes in both Puerto Rico and the United States. Known primarily by his ring name, Tim Arson, he gained recognition through his work with Puerto Rican promotions like New Wrestling Stars and World Wrestling Council, as well as various independent wrestling circuits across America. Arson's wrestling journey began under the tutelage of former WWF star Johnny Rodz, who helped shape his in-ring skills and persona. He debuted in 2001, initially competing in Northeastern independent promotions, particularly USA Pro Wrestling, USAPW. Early in his career, he became a key member of the stable Canadian Impact Alliance. During this period, he captured the USAPW United States Championship and won the vacant New York Championship in a highly competitive four-way match on October 20th, 2001. Though he held both titles briefly, he lost them to Kid Cruel just 1 week later, highlighting the fierce competition in the independent scene. Tim Arson's versatility as a performer was evident in 2006 when he appeared on the debut episode of WWE's ECW on Sci-Fi television show as The Zombie. This role showcased his ability to take on unique characters and entertain a wider audience. Throughout his career, Arson participated in notable matches, including a memorable gauntlet match in March 2003, where he defeated opponents like Popalicious and Live Wire. He also showcased his talents in Mikey Whipwreck's New York Wrestling Connection, engaging in high-profile bouts that further cemented his reputation as a skilled and dedicated competitor. Tragically, Tim Arson. Despite his early passing, his contributions to professional wrestling continue to be remembered by fans and colleagues, preserving his legacy in the wrestling world. Amy Gloria Matsudo, better known in the professional wrestling world simply as Julia, is one of the brightest, most compelling forces in modern wrestling. Born on February 21, 1994, in London, United Kingdom, Julia's unique background as both Italian and Japanese gives her a distinctive presence, inside and outside the ring, that few can rival. This multicultural heritage is not just a footnote, it's a core part of her identity and appeal, allowing her to bridge wrestling cultures with ease. At one point, 6'3" meters tall and weighing around 55 kilograms, 121 pounds, she may not be the largest competitor on the roster, but what she lacks in size, she more than makes up for with skill, tenacity, and an electrifying charisma that captivates audiences worldwide. The beginning of a wrestling journey. Julia's early career and rise to stardom. Julia's entry into professional wrestling came on October 29, 2017, when she debuted in Japan, a country renowned for its rich wrestling tradition and rigorous training standards. She quickly established herself as a promising talent, blending technical mastery with a hard-hitting style that suited the Japanese wrestling scene's intense physical ethos. Her billing from Tokyo, Japan, aligns with her training and competitive roots, but her global background helped her carve out a persona that transcended geographic boundaries. Before signing with WWE, Julia gained prominence in the Japanese wrestling circuit, particularly in Stardom, one of the world's most prestigious women's wrestling promotions. There, she not only honed her craft, but also became a fan favorite for her aggressive style, emotional intensity, and undeniable ring presence. Her signature moves, including the Northern Lights Bomb, became trademarks that fans eagerly anticipated during her matches. Julia's ascent in Stardom culminated with multiple championship reigns and major storyline pushes, establishing her as one of the top wrestlers in Japan. This success caught the eye of WWE scouts, who saw in her the potential to invigorate their women's division with a fresh international star who could appeal to fans in Asia, Europe, and beyond. The WWE chapter, Championship Success and New Horizons. Upon joining WWE's NXT brand, Julia's rise was swift. She adapted quickly to the American wrestling style, which places a greater emphasis on storytelling and character development alongside athleticism. This ability to blend styles and connect emotionally with audiences made her stand out immediately. WWE wasted no time in pushing Julia to the forefront of NXT's women's division, culminating in her winning the NXT Women's Championship, a crowning achievement that validated her talent and promised an exciting future. This championship run was marked not only by technical excellence, but also by her magnetic charisma, which helped her build a devoted fan base. She became known as a fierce competitor who could steal the show with her in-ring work, while also displaying a personality that was relatable and compelling. For WWE, Julia represented a key asset, a wrestler with international appeal who could help elevate the brand's global profile, particularly in Asian markets. Off the ring, visa issues threaten momentum. Despite this meteoric rise, Julia's journey hit unforeseen turbulence starting in early 2025. Rumors began circulating about visa complications that threatened to derail her WWE career trajectory. For foreign talent, especially those from outside the United States, obtaining and maintaining the correct work visas is a complex, often precarious process. Wrestling organizations like WWE rely heavily on P1 athlete visas, which grant performers legal clearance to compete in the US, the epicenter of WWE's operations. Sources close to the wrestling community have indicated that Julia's visa issues stem from administrative backlogs and stricter immigration policies introduced in recent years. Renewing or securing these visas can involve lengthy paperwork, multiple government agencies, and delays that sometimes go beyond the control of the athlete or the promotion. For Julia, whose momentum was just building, the timing couldn't have been worse. WWE creative teams had ambitious plans for her, with intentions to elevate her from NXT to the main roster and feature her prominently in major storylines. However, the inability to guarantee her consistent presence on American television forced WWE to adjust storylines on the fly, a frustrating situation for both Julia and the creative staff. The personal toll, frustration, and uncertainty. For a competitor as driven and ambitious as Julia, being sidelined by bureaucratic obstacles must be deeply disheartening. Sources reveal that behind the scenes, she expressed considerable frustration over the situation, keenly aware that every missed match or absence represented lost opportunities to build her legacy. This is particularly challenging in a business where momentum is everything. A single prolonged absence can mean losing fan interest, missing key promotional pushes, and creating doubts about a wrestler's reliability, even when the issues are entirely out of their control. The visa troubles also highlight a broader challenge for WWE, which continues to expand its global footprint and recruit international talent. Navigating immigration hurdles will be an ongoing concern for the company, especially with its increased focus on Asia and Europe. Hidden injury, the silent battle. As if visa problems weren't enough, reports have emerged of a nagging injury that Julia has been quietly managing for months. While WWE and Julia's representatives have not officially commented on the matter, multiple insiders confirm she has been competing under duress, pushing through pain to maintain her in-ring commitments. This injury reportedly became more noticeable following a recent match against Stephanie Baker, where Julia executed her signature Northern Lights bomb. Fans and observers noted that while the move itself was flawless, Julia showed subtle signs of favoring one side of her body afterward. Wrestling insiders speculate that the injury might involve her shoulder or back, common sites of strain for wrestlers who endure constant physical punishment and perform high-risk maneuvers. Injuries like these are particularly challenging because they're not only physically painful, but also mentally taxing. Wrestling requires performers to maintain a high level of physicality while portraying strength and resilience to fans. Continuing to compete while injured speaks volumes about Julia's toughness and dedication, but it also raises concerns about long-term health and recovery. Wrestling through pain, a testament to character. Julia's willingness to work despite injury underscores a fundamental truth about professional wrestling. The show must go on. Wrestlers often sacrifice their well-being to meet the demands of the schedule and the expectations of fans and promoters. This tough-it-out mentality is part of what earns respect in the locker room and among supporters. However, it also means that fans and commentators alike should be mindful not to underestimate the physical toll wrestling exacts. For Julia, continuing to perform while injured demonstrates her commitment to her craft and her fans. But it also complicates her path forward. Without proper recovery time, injuries risk worsening and extending absences. Rumors and speculation. What's next for Julia? In wrestling, prolonged absences often fuel speculation and rumor mills. Julia's current situation is no exception. Social media platforms and wrestling news outlets have buzzed with theories about her future. Some speculate WWE might consider releasing her if visa issues and injuries prevent consistent appearances. Such rumors are currently unsubstantiated and have been denied by insiders familiar with WWE's plans. Conversely, there are whispers that Julia might return to Japan temporarily or even permanently. Stardom, where she rose to prominence before joining WWE, is reportedly interested in re-signing her or booking her for a high-profile guest stint. For many wrestlers, returning to familiar ground offers a way to rebuild momentum and focus on healing in a less intense spotlight. Despite these rumors, many experts and insiders believe WWE remains deeply invested in Julia's career. Her unique blend of heritage, skill, and charisma aligns perfectly with WWE's goals to expand internationally and diversify its roster. The company's leadership reportedly maintains close communication with her, advocating for her inclusion in future storylines once her situation stabilizes. The potential comeback. Hopes for 2025 and beyond. If visa complications are resolved and Julia recovers from her injury, many believe she is poised for a remarkable comeback. WWE's NXT division, in particular, could benefit greatly from her return to top-tier storylines. Speculation abounds about potential rematches for the NXT Women's Championship, with Julia possibly positioned as a major contender once again. Beyond championship aspirations, Julia's return could also be pivotal for WWE's broader strategy. Her international appeal makes her a valuable asset for WWE's global marketing and live event plans, particularly in Asia and Europe. A high-profile comeback, possibly at a major pay-per-view or premium live event, would energize fans and create compelling new narratives within the women's division. Should setbacks continue, however, Julia may need to reassess her path, potentially focusing on recovery and recalibration before making another push. Whether that means more time in Japan, a hiatus, or an eventual WWE return remains to be seen. Julia's star power, an indisputable asset. Regardless of the current uncertainty, one truth remains clear. Julia's star power is undeniable. She embodies the perfect storm of beauty, skill, resilience, and cultural resonance. Her ability to connect with diverse audiences and excel at the highest levels of wrestling sets her apart. For fans around the world, Julia represents more than just a wrestler. She's a symbol of determination and multicultural pride, overcoming barriers and expectations to rise to prominence. Wherever her career takes her next, she will continue to draw attention and inspire new generations of wrestling enthusiasts. Conclusion: a test of strength beyond the ring. Julia's current phase is arguably the most challenging in her career, not for lack of talent or drive, but due to external obstacles and physical setbacks. Visa issues, injury concerns, and rampant rumors test her resilience and patience in ways that wrestling matches never could. Yet, if her history teaches us anything, it's that Julia is not one to back down from a fight. She has surmounted cultural divides, industry skepticism, and grueling competition to reach the heights she stands at today. This period of adversity is simply another chapter in her story, a test of true strength that she's likely to overcome with the same grit and heart that have defined her career. Fans eagerly await her return, hopeful to see Julia once again ignite the ring with her trademark intensity and passion. When that day comes, and it surely will, she won't just be back. she'll be back stronger, hungrier, and more determined than ever to cement her legacy among wrestling's elite.